Hello and welcome to Game Day from the UK, another live pre-game streaming show brought to you by at the Miami Heat UK. Here tonight to preview the game against the Indiana Pacers. Let's introduce the cast. Everyone. It's a Friday night, so most of the stream team are out enjoying themselves. But of course, I've got two of my goats here. I've got Sam McQuarrie. I haven't spoken to you for a while, Sam. How are you, sir? You're looking good.
It's been too long, man. First stream of the season. It's taken forever, but I'm here right now. So let's do this.
Great to have you back, mate. You're looking in good form and we can hear you and see you great as well. So good to have you back. James Stone, a regular since he's joined the stream team this year. I don't think we've missed a show with James. James, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, really looking forward to the 11 o'clock tip-off tonight, which we're really being spoiled with tonight.
Yeah, make the most of it. I think there's only tonight there might be. I think that might be it. I think after tonight, I think it just goes back to the usual 5-hour differential. But we'll take it. We always enjoy that little bit of the season where we get that extra hour. So, guys, let's start, of course, with a reflection on the last game out. A win against the Sacramento Kings in true heart attack Heat fashion. It went down to the last play. Tyler Herro, Sam, with the big bucket at the end. Now, we have covered this a little bit on Heating Up the UK in the last podcast, but I want to get your take on it, mate, because for me personally, yes, he made the shot, but when he was about to take that shot, I was screaming, "What are you doing?" I did not think that the game plan there was to heave a free, with a couple of seconds to go. But that's what happened. We had he nailed it, so it's all good. But what did you think of overall the game, and of course the clutch shot from Mr. Fourth Quarter, Tyler Herro?
So starting with the clutch shot, big time players make big time shots, and he's proved time and time again. It's not the first time he's done it. Just thinking back to I think 2-3 seasons ago against was it the 76ers? No, it was the Atlanta Hawks, where he had that crazy play in overtime. And yeah, he's shown us in the past that he can do it. He's capable of doing it, so I'm expecting to see more of that in the future. But all in all, it was a beautiful game. It was entertaining. I believe it was the second game of a back-to-back, so I was a bit hesitant on that front, but it was entertaining. There was a lot of lead changes, so back and forth. And for some reason, the Sacramento Kings always seem to just get on us whenever they play. So it was a testy game. They stuck it out, and we saw some good contributions from the likes of Dwayne Dedmon, Kyle Lowry. I loved seeing Max Strus and Duncan Robertson play side by side off the bench with Bam Adebayo. So yeah, entertaining game, showed what we're capable of this season. But I think it's a bit too early to make a judgment on what that says about the team. But it just shows the capabilities.
Yeah, it was a really entertaining game. You're right, and second night to a back-to-back doesn't matter who you're playing against. You've got to come in there with the right mentality, the right frame of mind. Because as we showed just a week earlier when we played the Kings, we didn't have that mentality at all, and we went down and just could not get back into the game despite a really good second half performance. So it was a good bounce-back win. A very entertaining game, and as you say, Tyler Herro taking that mantle from Jimmy Butler because he was out injured. Showing that he can have the ball in his hands and he can make those clutch plays as we've seen him happen time and time again. Now, James, that leads me on to another discussion, and it is sort of the buzz discussion at the moment, is with Tyler now in the starting lineup, with Jimmy Butler as well. Both players will want the ball. Kyle Lowry wants the ball as well, but both players in this situation, we saw back-to-back against the Warriors and the Kings, with Jimmy making what was effectively a game-winning shot at the end, and then against the Warriors, and then backed up with Tyler Herro making his very own game-winning shot at the end. So it begs the question, when they're all fit and healthy, and we get this again, a last possession play where we need a bucket, where do you put the ball? In whose hands? Because Jimmy's our leader, but Tyler he's got ice in his veins. He's said numerous times, that he wants these situations. He doesn't feel the pressure in those situations. So where does the ball go in this situation? Who closes for the Heat?
I think for me, it's got to be Herro, because he does prove that he can deliver in the clutch. Jimmy's the kind of player who'll take the game by the scruff of the neck, and he'll win a game for us with his mentality, the way that he'll drive the team along, not necessarily just from scoring the points, but making the plays, making the space, and leading that team. When it comes down to the final shot, sadly, Jimmy over the last couple of seasons has failed to score winning shots for us. I think there was 3 or 4 last season where it came down to a Jimmy, and not to mention obviously the playoffs in the finals against Boston. It came down to Jimmy and he missed it. I think Tyler has to be our game-winning shot man because he's built for shooting. You know, Jimmy's not just a shooter. Jimmy's an all-round player. He is arguably one of the best two-way players in the league, but he isn't arguably one of the best shooters in the league. So when it comes down to a final shot, I think it has to go to Tyler. I've got no issues with them playing together in the team together. You know, they did it last year. It doesn't matter that Tyler's starting now. When they're both averaging 35 minutes a game, as they were last season, it doesn't matter if you start on the bench or start in the team. They're still playing the majority of their minutes together on the court together. So I haven't got any concerns over that.
Yeah, I agree with that point. That's very, very well made. And yeah, it is an interesting situation, and it will be maybe done on the basis in terms of a matchup situation. But Spo has always given the trust to his leader, and at this point, that is Jimmy Butler. We saw it with Dwayne Wade as well, even in his late years, in his twilight years. If it came to that situation, the ball went in Dwayne's hands, even though by then he wasn't much of a shooter at that point of his career then either. So I expect it probably to still be with Jimmy. I think he will say, this is what I'm paid to do. But, you know, the more and more you see this with Tyler, the more and more that he grows and develops in this game, I think maybe it will take Jimmy and Spo that will probably say, look, sorry, this is the guy that's got the hot hand and this is the guy that's made for this sort of moment. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that develops as the season and seasons even go on. Before we come on to the Pacers game, Sam, an up and down start to the season. We're currently sit 4-5, but back-to-back wins after a poor start. Back-to-back wins is something to build on. The schedule now starts to soften a little bit, but going forward now, the last two performances felt much more Miami Heat-esque. So momentum now going into the next few games.
Yeah, we've got a lot of momentum. I think we started the season rough. I think the first few games we lost was quite polarizing because there was a lot of takes on Heat Twitter as normal as to who's performing and who's not performing. But I saw a lot of pluses and negatives in both in I think the first 3, 4, 5 games that we lost. We're seeing a new sort of angle that Bam is taking to his game. He's enjoying that mid-range. He's shooting from it. I've been massively impressed with Tyler Hero's rebounding, and he's rebounding from outside the key, but he's making effort to go in the key as well. Like, I think it was like a clutch rebound putback he had it against Sacramento to keep us in the game. So while I think it's a bit too early to judge the season, I like what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of pluses from multiple players. Duncan Robinson's offense is looking pretty good. He's shooting in the 40s again, but beyond the shooting, he's going to the basket. He's just playing differently, and that's what I'm seeing from a lot of people. It's just unfortunate that we had a rocky start to the season with the likes of Kyle Lowry and Dwayne Dedmon, but they just seem to have turned it around. But back to my initial statement, it's a bit too early to say. We'll give it a couple more weeks.
Look, we're 10% into the season now. It's a short sample size. We still haven't seen this team at full health. We know that. Oladipo still to come back. Yurts of them will help in stages as well. And I just love that. That always at some point during the stream, Sam would just give a little big up to Duncan Robinson. So I always love
it, man. He's a beautiful shooter.
Yes, he's a shooter. He's that man. Let's get on to the Pacers tonight, James. A 4-4 start for them. So not bad, average. You know, a lot of people had these, including myself, to be tanking this season to finish around that sort of 12, 13, 14 mark. So far, they're showing that they're a better team than that. And I'll come on to it in a minute. But one thing that, looking through the notes, that was jumped off the page immediately is the fact they haven't played a game since Monday. They're on a 4-day rest. And they just finished a 5-game road trip, which they went 2 and 3 from. They now come back for 5 home games, like Miami do after this game. They come back for 5 games at the FTX. But no game at this point already, fresh, 4 days fresh. That's going to have a say tonight, especially when Miami have had a number of back-to-backs already this season, 3 already for the Heat, just 10 games into the season, 9 games into the season. So that's not to be understated.
No, it's not. But this early in the season, I'm not sure you want such a large gap between games because teams do need to get into their rhythm. They do need to get playing their plays and getting used to any new players that come into the team. You know, it's not a lot of changes on the Indiana team, but Heald and Halliburton came in mid-season last year, so they haven't played a full season together. So it would have been their first off-season. So I think there'll be some negatives to go with the positives of obviously being rested. That they'll have still been in the training, or they'll have still been, practicing. But I think there'll be some negatives to go with having such a long rest this early in the season as well.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, that is always the other end of the argument. Is you think, okay, well, at this point, maybe players actually want to get reps under their belt, want to play games. So a 4-day break, yeah, we'll spin it the way we want to spin it, and that's going to make them rusty. So yeah, I like that, man. Good answer, Sam. Tyrese Halliburton, as James just alluded to there. He is in sensational form already this season. He is averaging just short of 22 points a game. He's 9.5 assists a game. 1.6 steals, but this is the one. 44.9% from three. This guy's hitting already in the season. Matched it up with the 8th pick of this year's draft with Mathurin. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. He's now averaging 20.5 points a game. And Buddy Hield as a shooter, we know what he's a 3-point specialist, as we know. He's averaging 17.8 points per game. So this team, marshaled by Halliburton, who is explosive, they're a quick team, they're a strong team. Maybe I've done them a discredit in the pre-season by judging them to be one of the tanking teams, because that's an Arsenal to sort of give any team problems this year. What do you make of their start? And what's the main thing, the key beneficiary there that the Heat have got to try and limit tonight?
Yeah, I think those numbers really surprised me. I've never really looked into that level of detail. I think the 3-point shooting is going to be big because over the past few games, or in the start to the season, we haven't been fantastic. Kevin Hurt has killed us twice in 2 games now, and we just haven't been as good as we have been, even shooting as well. So we need to defend the 3. We need to shoot the 3. But I'm quite impressed at the fact that you didn't mention what's going on with what's his face, Miles Turner. Is he still at the Pacers?
He's still at the Pacers. He's my next question. It's going to be bounced towards James, but you fire away, man.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of there's no fire without smoke, and I think him going on Windhorse's podcast says a bit about what's going on in the locker room. So there might be a bit of dysfunction, which we might take advantage of, but I'm honestly not really hopeful for tonight. I've seen the injury list and the questionable list, and it's not something good. I think you tweeted it out a couple minutes ago, and our front court is looking very depleted. So having to go up against Miles Turner is not a good thing tonight.
Yeah, you're right. And the injury report, James, doesn't look good for the Heat. We know that we've got no Butler, no Oladipo, no Yurts. From game time decisions for Bam, which we think is expected to play, which is huge, because we're probably not expecting Dedmon to play. He's also a game time decision, but that doesn't sound good. And that means you've got, we're really hoping Bam plays, because we will literally have no fives. We've got Haslam maybe that can do a job, or even maybe you'd have to chuck someone like bloody Caleb Martin in to do a job at 5. We've also got no Jovic as well, of course. He's not playing. He didn't travel. So the Heat are lacking once again in size. And as Sam just said, with Miles Turner, he's a guy that is a really good rim protector. He's a block specialist. He's going to have an impact on this game. What do you make of that sort of matchup with Bam tonight? And also the fact, just very quickly, on what you think is going to happen with Miles Turner, because he's very clearly available. So, do you expect him to go now, or do you think that they'll hold on to him, especially as the Pacers have had maybe a better start than what a lot of people anticipated?
I think I'm surprised Turner's there, if I'm honest with you. I really thought he was going to go in the off-season. He was linked with everybody. Lakers wanted him. We wanted him. Brooklyn wanted him. Everybody wanted him. I don't know if he ended up leading the league last year in blocks, but I know midway through he was considerably ahead of everybody else on nearly like 3 blocks a game. So everybody wanted him. Everyone was linked to him. And I think the Pacers made it quite open in the off-season that anyone was up for grabs realistically. I don't think they shied away from saying if the right offer's on the table for any of our players, we'll take it. So I'm surprised he started the season there. I don't think he'll finish the season there. But, his figures have started well this season, but he's not getting the headlines like he was this time last year. I think he got something like 7 blocks in 3 consecutive games last year, which is when people really started to recognise what he could do at the rim. So I think he will probably go on. Miami would be an ideal place for him to come. We need height. You know, all through off season, I pushed this on social media, bring him in at the 5 and push Bam to the 4. A lot of people were singing that as well. Lakers were after him. They wanted that to push AD to the 4. So I think there'll be some teams. The Nets really need a 5 because Nick Claxton isn't doing it for them. So there'll be a lot of teams that will be after him. But, you know, if he's made the noise that he's available, then I don't know if that will disrupt anything. I don't think he's necessarily a leader in that team. I think it's Halliburton and Hield that kind of lead that team. So whether or not people just expected him to go and just allowing him to say what he wants and wait till someone comes in with the right offer. But, I mean, interestingly, what you were saying about the Pacers, they're a scoring team. They are. I mean, they're 6th in the league at the minute for points per game. No, sorry, 4th, not 6th, 4th. 117 points a game they're averaging. But they're averaging 119 against, which is 28th worst in the league.
Yeah.
Now, we're not very good offensively at the minute. We're only 109, which puts us down at 26. But we're only conceding 110 a game, which puts us at the 9th best defence in the league, which is really surprising how bad our defence has been this year. So Turner with no Bam is a worry. But Turner isn't the defensive player that Bam is, because Turner is a Rudy Gobert type player to me. He protects the rim, he'll grab the rebounds, he'll stay in the paint, he'll make it difficult for you to score in the paint. But when we've got Lowry, Hero, Martin, Strus, Robinson shooting threes, he can be as good as he wants in the paint. If that's our attack, shoot the free. Doesn't matter that you've got a rim protector in there. So I hope Bam's fit. And if Bam isn't fit, can't believe I'm saying this, I hope Dedmon's fit. Otherwise, we're going to end up with a UD playing 30 minutes tonight at the 5.
Yeah, it's. I think tonight's game is very nicely summarised, by the way. I think tonight's game will be very much influenced by who shoots the free better, because the Pacers do throw up a lot of frees. I think they're 3rd in the league for the amount of frees that they throw up. Their percentage isn't great. I think they're shooting about 37%, but they throw a lot of them. And the Miami Heat, as you just sort of said there, if they shoot well tonight, I think that could be the deciding factor. It's going to be an interesting game with the situation with Miles Turner and he very, very much being available. You know, I get that the sort of argument to and from. I think he'll be a good fit. I think that if you can have Bam on the perimeter, he protects your rim. I think that works well. But I do understand the other side of it, if neither of those shoot at the moment, so it could be a bit clunky on that sense. But I think that at the moment the Pacers are just maybe holding on, because I think a lot of teams that were interested in him maybe were expecting the Pacers to really fall off and start badly, and then they could have really have just thrown anything at them, whether it just be a pick or just some sort of sort of back end rotation players, and they just wanted to clear out. But they've started well, and I think while they've started well and they've got these exciting players, the rookie doing very well, and as I said, Halliburton doing very well, maybe they're just holding on and seeing, well, let's just see where this goes. So yeah, a lot of poker facing, I think, at the moment, to see who blinks first. But tonight's going to be an interesting game, guys. Let's get some predictions from you. As I said, the Heat have a few injury issues. The Pacers don't. I think only Daniel Tice is the only injury worry for them. I think he has been ruled out. A clash of styles, as I said, they're a quick team. We're not. But the last time we played them was a full calendar year ago, almost December last year. And the Heat blew them out on their home court by 30-something. So, guys, let's see. Sam, what are you thinking tonight? Good game, interesting game. Who's got it?
Very unlike me, but I'm really not hopeful for today. I think that injury list really scared me, and I feel like I'm expecting the worst when it comes to that injury list. So, Pacers by 5.
It's Pacers by 5. The first time on this season stream we have not had a Heat win. There is the very sensible, level-headed Sam Aquara. So we've gone
scared,
Pacers
man.
by
I'm scared.
5. I hear you, man. I hear you. Honestly, I've got a dodgy feeling about it as well. But let's go to James. What are you thinking tonight?
Heat by 20. Easy.
There you go. There you go. He's just ramped it straight back up.
Like I said, Bam, Dedmon, they're key, but we're at home. We've got the momentum. 2 big wins. We're going to shoot well from 3. Tyler, Strus, Robinson, big games. Heat to win by double figures.
Okay, I like it. We are away tonight though, so maybe that's maybe that's so. But okay, we've said
Yeah,
it.
forgot that.
Heat by 20. Let's go. Yeah, the Pacers just come back from a 5-game road trip, so they'll be back home. So their crowd will be hyped to see some basketball again. I'm with you guys. I think it's going to be. Well, it has to be. If Bam has to play tonight. If Bam doesn't play, we're not winning. If he does, I think we'll carry on the momentum. But I do expect yet a third game in a row where I think this could go down to the wire. It's going to be interesting. I said a bit of a clash of styles, but look, we can't have a majority going for an Indiana Pacers win here. So I'm going by Heat by 3, another tight one to end. So there we go. The majority, of course, on this show goes with the Miami Heat. As James said right at the beginning of the show, it's an 11 p.m. tip tonight. So enjoy that. Hopefully everybody can join us in-game comms at the Miami Heat UK. Follow us along, get involved with the chat. Subscribe to Miami Heat UK TV. And we will see you on Monday against the Trailblazers. There you go. I've got both the team and the date right. So things are moving up. Enjoy the game, guys. And as I said, always subscribe and follow what we do. Enjoy it. Speak to you soon.